So let me come quickly to the activities that we implemented last year, what we've done last year. So under the multi-level urban governance, what we did last year, as you all remember, we did a press brief, then we did official launch. These are just preliminary activities. And before the project kickstart, we have to do what you call a baseline survey. So the survey was conducted, and then the logical framework which the EU is going to use to measure our targets and stuff. So we use it, the baseline, to update our logical framework. Then we have the quarterly awareness on municipal fees and rates, which is very dear to the Assembly, because we need to educate the citizens to pay their fees and rates. And the other hand, they also demand to know what we are using the money for. So it's hand go, hand come. So when you want them to pay. So these are the areas that we are doing. So we are doing quarterly engagement on that. Then we have the transnational exchanges between officials and project partners from the cities of Sekondi, Takoradi, and Palermo, which last year they were here, and this year too, last month, a team from here were also in Palermo. We've conducted 2 cycles of capacity building training. The first one focused on honorable assembly members to build their capacity in terms of urban governance, urban issues, for them to understand issues so that when they come to the floor can know the areas that they are to call for solutions. Then the MPCU that I spoke about, and then the SPC, the Metro Planning Coordinating Unit, and then the Spatial Planning Team, we also brought them together and have their first cycle of training. It's left with each one each. There will be one this year again for the Metro Planning and then the SPC, but for the Assembly members, it will go to the 3rd year. The co-design of e-government platform to enhance access to information. As part of the project, we are creating an online government platform that the Assembly will have, where all transactions can be done over there. Something like the marriage. If you want to apply for marriage, no need to come. When you go to the online, all the procedure will be there. You just fill your forms, then it comes to the officer in charge. And we're also creating an avenue where you can also pay through online. So you want to also reduce the human, what do I say? The human interference. It's also have engaged Assembly technocrats. So the consultant is on it, and as and when you also brief you where he is, and we are hoping that we will launch this platform in October. That is our hope. We engage the big businesses, the medium and large business last year, to also know their challenges, and Assembly also how we can also address it when it comes to fee paying. So we hope that the positive impact of this will come. When we move to the next cluster, we were to construct a demonstration farm equipped with greenhouse and irrigation facility, and train some of the vulnerable group, 25 smallholder vegetable farmers and 100 unemployed youths in urban agriculture. We also planted 5,000 fruit trees. Then we did community campaigns. Before we hit the ground last year with the urban agriculture, we visited Adenta municipality, a EU-funded beneficiary, to first of all learn lessons from them, and also look at their agric interventions that they are doing, but they also implemented similar intervention. Then we moved from Adenta to the National Greenhouse and Entrepreneurship Center at Dewenya to look at how they are doing the greenhouse and then the open farm. So from there, as part of our project, we have to set up a model one. So this is the model one we have set, which most of you have seen. Some have passed their unofficial visit. Some have been there unofficial visit. This is the area view of the whole area. We have the office here, then open farm. You have 2 tunnels here. Then we have the animal husbandry, the fishery is here, the washroom. When we did the greenhouse, we selected 40 people to take them as trainer of trainees. So we have persons with disability rep, our metro agric departments, we have the extension officers. We also have the senior high schools who are also into agric, those who are doing well in agric, like Secondary College, Fijai, Diabene Senior High School, MESEC. We have about 6 of them coming to undergo through this training. And at the end of the day, they harvested their fruits. In December, they started harvesting the tomatoes. So it is our hope that those that we have trained, they can also, and we also included the prisons, secondary prisons, they are head of agric, to also, so all of them went through the cycle from September to December, and they've acquired that knowledge. And as part of the project, what we are also doing now is to train another group. You know, the greenhouse, as you all know, is a quite expensive venture. So there is what we call the improvised one, which we have somebody, a consultant here in Secondary Takoradi, who is also into that we've engaged to train some of them who have gone through this process to also do the improvised one at very less cost, that even you can get one at your own backyard, and that one purely organic. And so last year we a total of 131 went through the process, the open farm, and we have the open farm technology. We also have the animal husbandry, and the animal husbandry we have the fish, the catfish is here. Then we also have poultry, and then we also have the rabbit over there. This is just a demonstration. We are not doing it on a large scale for people to see how it is done. And we also have the snail over there, the snail farming. So these are the areas that we are looking at. Those that we are training, the vulnerable group that we are training, will go into these ventures. And as part of the project too, there will be a support, but that one will be a competitive process. And we are looking to like a form of like enterprise, a social group where the youth or groups can come together, and well-registered groups, then they can access the support. For instance, persons with disability, they are a well-structured organization. They have registered, they have all their documents. So if you support such group, we know that we are supporting a well-structured group. It's not going to be a wholesale or just you come and you give it to you. So that is on the urban agric side. So there's a form of kind of support, but the modalities are being worked on. Then the fruit trees, as I indicated, the focus last year was on the schools, basic schools, and then individual households. So in the whole, about 2,800 plus was given to the schools. We have about 38 schools, both basic and senior high schools benefited from it. And when we did the assessment at the end of the year, we were around the 79% survival rate. So we are putting in strategies to ensure that the survival rate that we have, we can maintain it, the 79%, to ensure that those that are surviving, we can take good care of them. So we have given the schools watering can, we've given them those that needs to be with the hose and cutlasses. And as time goes on, to the team also go and give them organic manure. They go around to give it to them, the schools, to assist them. From Mbredane, those of you who have been to Mbredane before, the last end of our metropolis. So the team went there. This is how their fruits are doing from Mbredane. So we hope that with strict monitoring and the support of the schools, next week we are planning to meet the schools, the heads, and let them know the strategies we have put in place for them to also support, so that, because it is for their benefit. As I indicate, GES has a policy that every child has to eat one fruit. It tells this, you have to give your child a fruit to take to school and go and eat. So if we're able to promote this in the schools, they will not need to carry food and into the schools. So that is our aim. So on that note, being able to tell you what you've done, my job is done. Thank you.
Can I have some clarity on that portion of the funding for the culture aspect? And what is the input of the masqueraders in this? Recently there was a Yesua story, and I had an assembly member on my show, and he was thinking that a part of this funding has been set aside to activate the masquerader groups.
If you remember, we even shared some material flyers with you. Please, if you have them, if you go read them. It was to promote culture activities within the metropolis. And of course, currently, if you look at some of the things that we want to promote to attract more tourists into the metropolis, we can't take away the Masqueraders Carnival. You can't take away the Yesu. So really, it's not like a money sitting there that we said that we are going to use and then share and give to the Masqueraders or give to Yesu. So really, like I said, maybe his understanding wasn't clear with the interventions that we sought to bring on board under this project to support culture activities within the metropolis.
So one of the bases of this enterprise is about open governance, and open governance is about involving every stakeholder as part of it. So within the communication chains, we need to be careful and see what information we are giving, and also be careful about what I've realized, especially in our policy implementation, putting blue and green tincture in everything that we do. Because if this 3 million comes and go, and tomorrow we don't get any benefit, St. Peter will whip us. And I'm also saying this because Sekani Takwade cannot wait for the opportunities that are coming.
First, I want to thank you so much for coming to listen to our story. And so we've learned a lot, and we want you to help us talk to our people. Please go there and tell our story. Palermo has taught us a lot of lessons, and we intend to implement that. That is why we went there. That's why we went there to learn. And so what we have learned, we want to try and implement it here. Thank you so much for coming.